Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bad Guitars podcast. My name is Andrew.
And my name is Guy.
And this is episode 50. We finally made it.
I know.
We took a week off last week. So
we did.
We just want to start off, let everybody know that if you're, it's your first time here, or maybe you're a returning listener or viewer, we are the Bad Guitars podcast, your weekly gear news show, I guess you could call us.
You can call it that way.
Yeah, we like to highlight all releases from builders big and small of guitars, pedals, amplifiers, and try to highlight some news here and there on different things going on in the music world.
Yeah.
So we took that week off, so we are a little bit behind on some of these things that came out last week. We're not going to go through everything that came out between last week and this week.
Okay.
Because we'd be here all night. But just some of the big hits in the last couple weeks.
Wait, before we get started with that, we do need to say what happened, not last week, but the week before that. I'm so sorry about that episode. That was a flop. That was messed
that went pretty bad.
I'm so sorry about that.
If you watched episode 49 or listened to it, well, actually, if you listen to it on the audio version, there is just one version of it. But we ended up putting out two different versions of the video version on YouTube because the first one, we both watched it like the file
that we exported.
We edited the video, exported it onto the computer. I airdropped it onto my phone. It played all the way through on both of those. But then uploading it to YouTube, it did not play all the way through. And we didn't realize. And we usually check every time.
I don't know
why.
And
I think it's this one time we just didn't. Neither one of us checked. Yeah. And at like 26 minutes, it just ends. So we uploaded it a second time because by the time we caught it, it was already, I want to say, the next morning.
But wasn't Mark the one that pointed out?
Yeah, so one of our regular viewers, Mark, he pointed it out to us. He's like, is it just me or does it end at 26 minutes? Now, he posted that at night, and then I didn't see it again. I didn't see it until the next morning. I was like, oh, no. But by then, we already had like hundreds of views on it. And since our YouTube channel is still fairly small, deleting that video or marking it as private does negatively impact our channel at the size that it is. So we ended up just like, we changed the thumbnail, we changed the title of that one to like, oops, we messed up. Because a lot of people had already watched that half of it. So we uploaded the new version, the full complete version, and then linked that in the description of the other video. So both videos actually did very well for us.
I felt so bad when I noticed that had happened because actually on the first bar, people didn't notice that we were talking about summer school electronics.
I know, because we did a whole thing thanking him for because we wanted to say thank you to summer school for sending out a pedal to us. And last week we got too busy that I wasn't able to do a gear video last week, so we messed up with the episode upload, and then I didn't get a chance to do the video on that pedal. But some of the stuff that we had mentioned in the thumbnail and in the title of that video, the first version that was uploaded, we got some thumbs down on YouTube because like people probably watched it and they're like, well, they're not talking about this particular subject. Like, what's going on here? It's because it's in the second half. So if you haven't caught that one, if you're going to go on YouTube, watch the full length version. Just avoid the other version altogether if you can.
The 26-minute one.
Eventually we'll delete that one. But so
anyway, now we can start with this episode.
Yeah, and then this upcoming week, this episode's going to come out on Sunday, and then probably Wednesday or Thursday, maybe even as late as Friday, is when the video on the Summer School Electronics Science Fair. Pedal has been around for a long time, but it's something that people have been recommending to me for a long time. I think it's the most recommended pedal that people have given me. So I'm really excited to do the video. I've had a couple weeks now to sit down with it, dial in some different sounds that I really like. So I'll be doing the video on that this upcoming week.
Okay.
So, as we said, we're not going to cover every single thing that came out in the last 2 weeks, but we did miss this one from last week, the Walrus Audio Zero Poly Looper pedal.
Okay.
I believe it's Zero. It's Xero.
What does that do?
It's a looper, but it's supposed to do some wacky stuff. It's Walrus, so you have some sliders on here.
Okay.
For volumes for each channel. So it's a 2-channel looper. You have channel 1, channel 2. There are panning controls here at the top, so you can pan which output these go to, I believe. Okay. But then it looks like you have stereo inputs, stereo outputs. I'm not sure what this other jack is. We'll figure that out here in a second. But you have controls for speed, forward and reverse. So it looks like you can preset speeds here to 0.5, 1 times, or 2 times. And then you can change the direction that the loop plays, so you can actually play it in reverse. So it's some cool, melodic stuff that you can get with this. Okay, here we go. So you have stereo input and output, and then an external switch.
Okay, $299.
We're looking at Sweetwater right now. The black version's already sold out. Let's check about the cream. Yeah, the cream's already sold out.
Oh,
not surprising.
I like the cream version better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do too. Let's see. Construct your inspiring musical endeavors in real time with Walrus Audio Zero Poly Looper. Streamlined for the giggy musician, the Poly Looper puts a powerful analog style control set at your feet to control your best loop phrases in seconds. So it's a dual channel layout with independent controls to efficiently sculpt your impromptu phrases to perfection. You have 3 modes here: sync, unsync, and poly. So let's see what those do here. Oh, it also has MIDI with 8-inch MIDI jacks.
Okay.
And it does have the USB port for latest firmware updates. So what are these modes? So sync and poly modes auto quantize your loop recordings to fit perfectly during playback. That's pretty cool. Unsync unlocks complete recorded freedom. Multiple playback speeds like forward and reverse switch for further augmenting your recordings. And then the external foot switch jack expands your looper capabilities for even greater control, but it doesn't say exactly what it does here. I think it's cool. Although I don't know what on this is exactly unique or revolutionary to this. Yeah.
So if you go to the bottom, it shows you similar products, correct?
Yeah.
You actually had the Boss RC500
I actually was using
loop.
it today. I've got it sitting here on the desk.
You actually had that one.
Yes,
it's
RC500.
funny that it's comparing those two.
We got this a couple years back because Kat wanted to get into looping, and I haven't had a looper in a long time.
Yeah.
And we got one that we specifically wanted where it had at least two separate independent channels. So this actually has sliders for your volumes on each channel as well. What I really like about this is you can completely program. Oh, there's dog hair on it.
I know.
You can completely program what each foot switch on this does. So you're not set with preset, it has to be set up a certain way. You can expand it with additional foot switches. I think you can put what is up to 4 or 5 different external foot switches on this thing, depending on which style foot switch you buy. Because there's the Boss one that has 2. There's other ones that have 3, 4, and you can program all of those with the MIDI controls, the expression output controls. But still haven't mastered how to use this thing because it's been sitting on a shelf for a year and a half.
But I actually really liked it though. I really did like it.
I do too. I've been messing around with it a lot the last couple days. So I think
experience with that one.
Compared to this, which has the screen, you can program a bunch of stuff. It does have some rhythm stuff in there. They're not very good, drum beats built into this thing. That you cannot edit them. You just they're just backing tracks. I think the reverse function on the Walrus looper is probably what sets it aside from others.
It can be. Although the looping time, if you look at in the compare table, you can see that for the Walrus audio one, it's just 3 minutes. Whereas for the Boss RC,
you can go for an hour and a half on a single track. You can go for
yeah. So that's a big difference right there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And the fact that you can pan to the left and right the individual tracks on this thing. I think you can also do that with the Boss, but there's a lot of menu diving and going through and selecting different stuff, and it's not as functional for a live setting as maybe this Walrus one.
Anyway, what else do we have?
So that's once again that was what, $299?
$299.99, $300.
I think this came out last week or beginning of this week. Earthquaker Devices brought back the Fuzzmaster General Legacy reissue.
Okay.
So it's an octave fuzz. You get your tone, level, and fuzz knobs. 3-way switch here. $179, and I think this is limited to just 1,600 units.
Oh. So what's new on this one?
I don't think anything's new. I think it's just a reissue.
Oh.
Let's see, though. Fuzzmaster General is our take on the vintage Acetone Fuzzmaster FM2 professional fuzz machine, an octave fuzz that was very similar to the wildly popular Super Fuzz. We've taken the basic circuit and reimagined it to be more useful for the modern player. It features a more accurate fuzz control that delivers a much broader spectrum of dirt tones, ranging from nearly clean to full buzzsaw assault. We added a voice toggle to further enhance your dirt desires to wrangle a more variable tone out of the classic circuit. The toggle selects between germanium, silicon, and diode clipping. No diode clipping.
No diode clipping.
This has a huge impact on the characteristic fuzz tone, upper octave clarity, and output level. The germanium diode offers more output and open, looser fuzz tone, while the silicon diodes compress the signal and yield a tighter fuzz. When the voice is set to no diode clipping in the center, you can attain a nearly clean upper octave fuzz that borders on ring modulation. Okay. The original Fuzzmaster had a foot switch to select between two different tone settings. This one has a variable tone control that allows you to dial in everything in between a wide open to a scooped heavy bass vintage unit. But it didn't really answer your question.
Well, it did.
About this versus
if you look at the pattern, it says with all these added features. So I guess it has added features.
Well,
that's the main difference.
What I want to look up is
what?
The original Earthquaker version versus this version to see if there is anything different here. Nope, doesn't look like it.
Well, price is different.
I think the original just had the hard foot switch, which now they have like the relay foot switch, where the soft switch. Visually, that looks like that might be the only difference here.
Well, the color in itself.
Well, yeah, this is like a more of a faded color.
Yeah,
it's kind of like brighter. It could just be the. Ooh.
Oh my goodness!
Started playing a video here. Yeah, and the used ones, like $220 on Reverb right now.
Okay.
So yeah, you're saving a little bit of money if you buy the new one. But you got to get it before it sells.
Just buy the new one.
This one looks crusty.
Ugh.
All right, so that was the Fuzzmaster General. Let's see what else we have going on here. I'm trying to keep it in order of what came out in which week, but did we cover this one already?
I don't remember that.
Then it must have come out last week. So Old Blood Noise Endeavors is back again with like this new series they've been doing with these knobs and this like squared enclosure. It almost looks... Yeah, like the folded metal enclosures.
Oh, I like those colors.
You know, they've been doing this for the last few pedals. God, I can't remember I think one of them was the Howdy Partner. What was the other? Oh, the Black Fountain Deluxe. So I really like these new enclosures they're doing. The artwork, I don't care much for this artwork compared to like what they've been doing, but it looks cool.
Kind of does.
And I think you get different color options here. So it's black and gray, purple and pink. That cool, like I like this one the best, I think. I like black and gray, but I think overall, like I do like that, like green and turquoise color.
Okay, $299 though.
So this is $299. Let me just double check. Yeah, those are the three colors: algae, orchid, and ink. So bathing is a liminal delay, perhaps a reverb or a phaser or a classic delay, but never exactly one of all of these things. It is a style of effect unique to the Old Blood lineup. You pick the overall delay time, the number of all-pass filter stages it runs through to get there, and how you want it to modulate the character of those stages. Turn knobs, fear not, and be sure to save that preset when you find it.
Okay.
So, they always do really cool, unique stuff.
Okay.
So for integration into many different rigs, it has stereo in and outs with analog drive-through, trails, true bypass switching. You can save presets, expression control over every knob. There's MIDI control for everything in the pedal, including MIDI clock in and out for external syncing. Let's get down to what these controls are in this thing. So time sets the central delay time as well as choose between the subdivisions when holding the tap foot switch. So it's a multi-mode knob. The stages is the number of stages the delay passes through from 2 to 12.
Okay.
Feedback is to set the overall feedback. Okay. Filter is to darken or brighten the character of the delay. Rate, depth, and shape are able to determine the motion of the character as the delay moves through the stages with a variety of LFO shapes and 2 envelope options. Dry is the volume of the dry, wet is the volume of the wet, and dimension is to add a subtle stereo chorus mono vibrato to the wet signal. And then tap and auxiliary switch is tap tempo. Hold for infinite feedback are optionally used as a preset switcher. It does have such soft touch bypass switching for minimal switch noise. Bunch of demos out. Looks like everyone's got their demos. Yeah. I've seen some clips of it. I haven't watched like a full demo of this thing yet.
Okay.
But it sounds crazy.
Crazy good? Or?
Oh yeah, no, I mean I haven't heard a bad pedal that they make.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, $299.99. No, it's not 99. Just $299. Yeah. Like I said, you got the 3 colors. You can add some extra stuff to your order if you want. They got the flat patch cable splitter. You can get the dual PRS cables.
Okay.
Pretty cool. I think there's only just one more that came out last week that we missed. Nope, there's 2. Most of the stuff I guess came out last week. Yesterday FX.
I love Yesterday FX.
I know.
They're aesthetic.
I love like the it's almost like I always say pastel, but I don't know if that's the right word for like the aesthetic here.
It almost looks like AI. Like you go into Pinterest, like I don't know. It looks
I mean they do look like they're like animated the way they look. I mean, but they look really cool. So yeah, Isaiah over at Yesterday dropped the color theory. So he was hinting around this for a while on social media. He did send out the email notification that this thing was coming out. So color theory invites you to explore a new spectrum of tonal possibilities. It's an all-analog parallel processor available in 8 different colors.
Ooh.
It allows for 2 send and return loops to be mixed in parallel with an added phase inversion switch. With the color theory, pedal combinations become primary, secondary, and tertiary shades of sound.
I love that.
So let's see what else we can find out on this thing. Okay, here's the controls.
Okay.
So you have essentially loop 1 and loop 2 in the top here. So there's a send and return on 2 sides of this thing, plus there's the master input and master output. So the knob controls the loop adjustment. So how much of the mix, if you're dead in the center, you're 50-50 of both loops. The toggle is your phase inversion switch. It does run on standard negative center 9 volt. And it has quiet op amps. So this is really cool. There's a lot you can do with this for like synth rigs and stuff. If you have like a nice desktop rig for your guitar stuff or like recording, or if you're like reamping, this would be really cool to be able to blend in between different effects. And I think it's a really cool concept.
I like that it comes in 8 different colors.
I know.
Isn't that cool?
Let's see what these colors are. But, you know,
I'm gonna go to order now.
Okay, and by the way, this is 150. I don't know if we already said that. I'm gonna go order now real quick and just see what the names of these colors are, because like paprika. Ooh. Amber's a little bit more orange. Bonfire is more of like a yellow orange yellow. Squash. Okay, that's like your regular yellow.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. That's like a squash yellow. Eden.
I like that color.
That's a nice one. Teal.
Oh, teal is nice too.
Lilac's really cool. They're all good.
I know. Oh my god,
you know
that
what?
one is so cute.
I guess I would probably have to, if I were to get one, I'd probably go with the squash, just because.
Why?
Is that the color? I don't know. That might not be the same color as the pitch bend. I don't know if I can't reach down and grab it off my board. I think it's
green, isn't it?
Let me see if I can get it off my board real quick.
I think the one that you have is green. Am I wrong? Yeah, it's green.
Yeah, that's more of a green. The pitch bender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't match.
No, that's more similar to the colors. There's like a green in.
Was it Eden?
Something.
No, that's too dark of a green.
Too dark.
You know what? I should go back and try to find what the color is on this thing at some point. Yeah, I don't know. I love all the colors that he uses.
I love that.
Yeah. And it's cool, you call it color theory and like you're offering it in the different colors. But it's, it's probably not a super complex circuit in this thing. It's just probably, it's a 2-channel, well, not even 2-channel. It's, what am I trying to say? It's a parallel processor, exactly what his description says. But no, I like that. It's 2 effects loops in 1 unit, and you can blend between the 2. And the phase inversion thing is really cool, especially if you plan on like running. You could probably run stereo effects through either side and get this really huge sound, and then mix it back down to that like mono input and output. Like that's gonna be really cool for, like I said, people with synths and stuff, and you're running a bunch of like delays and big reverbs. That's gonna be huge.
I don't know. So, I think with everything, how like everything is so expensive right now, $150 is just so cheap.
I know. As Josh Scott says, it's like 1 cup of coffee.
Kind of, yeah.
So I think, and I'm probably wrong, but that might be everything from last week that we gathered up to talk about.
Okay.
There's a couple more here.
Okay,
it's probably because it's our first episode back. It's probably gonna be like less than an hour this time around. But give me 1 second here to look at this next one. All right, so I think this one came out on like Saturday or Sunday, Monday. I don't know when this one came out.
Okay.
So this is the Lost and Found from Chase Bliss. This is part of their small batch series, I believe is what it's called. We'll find that out in a second for sure what that's called. Ooh.
Ooh, I like the way that one looks.
So it's on pre-order status right now.
$399.
$399. And the way that they do their small batch status is, I believe, it says here. So orders for Lost and Found will be open until August 31st, 2025. So they will sell as many as they can sell within that time frame, and then they'll fulfill the orders as often as they can. So their best estimates for orders placed right now is that they will ship in late October.
Okay.
But Chase Bliss, that's their thing, because 99% of their business in the United States, at least, I know they have distribution in Europe, but they're American. The way that they operate is they canceled, several years ago, they canceled all their dealers.
Why?
And now they do have a couple small select dealers, I believe, but they decided they want to be a direct to consumer thing.
Oh.
And it helps keep things as affordable as they can keep them. There's not going to be any retailer markup on them.
That makes sense.
So it's easier, it's more streamlined for them, and it feels more personal. Due to that, they did their whole mystery box thing.
I remember that.
It took them a long time to satisfy all those orders.
But they did.
And every time they do like a big release like this, like when they did the Brothers AM a couple months ago. I remember that. Like batch 2 didn't start shipping until late July or early. It might not even start shipping it because they had a problem that came in with their circuit boards. So I don't know if batch 2 started shipping out yet. So they had to hand remove a certain component and then put the correct component in on all these circuit boards that they had.
I don't remember like the mystery boxes were like a huge thing, wasn't it?
I don't know. I think it'd be cool to get in on it this year if they do it again.
Ha! I think you already spent your budget for this year.
I probably did. So $399.
Okay.
That's pretty average for their pedals. This thing is crazy. I've watched videos on it, and I still don't understand it.
I have what is the spread about?
The spread knob? Is that one of the knobs?
Yeah.
Where are you seeing that? Oh, that's one of the switches.
That's a switch?
Yeah.
What's that about?
It's left side into right side into left side, or both at the same time. So what
does it do?
Okay, so I'm going to read the description on this, but I'll say it in simple terms based on what I understand from watching the videos.
Okay, I appreciate the simple terms explanation.
All the controls on the left side
control
the left channel. So you have a time and alt knob. You have a modify and EQ knob. Those are double functionality right there. And then you have a toggle for 1, 2, and 3. And then the foot switch. And then on this other side, you have the same exact controls. In the very center, you have mix, which is also ramp and spill, depending on which mode you're using it.
Okay.
Blend, which is also glue, which I believe is more of like a compressor. and then your spread controls that we just explained. Now, this thing does more than I can understand.
Okay.
So we will have to read this description. But it's a really cool like modulation. It does granulated stuff. It does like some delay kind of crazy stuff. All their pedals are like crazy bleep bloop boxes. So the Lost and Found is our first true multi-effect, a little museum of the rare and strange for you to wander around. Tour through 12 modes that can be blended in countless ways, a full spectrum of textures inspired by the effects that have captivated and perplexed us over the years. Want to become a phasing resonator? Okay. How about a distant synth or swelling octaves melting in the sun? We can do that. A bit of whatever you need and a whole bunch of what you're not expecting. Now, like I said, both sides are identical on this, so you can dial in the same sound on either side and double them up, or you can get two crazy different sounds and layer them, or just use one by itself. It's really cool.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Mm-hmm. You kind of lost me in the spread because it's just. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of slow for those things.
Okay, so you're still stuck on the spread function?
No. Like, yeah, I would say so. It's like left to right.
So it's which side is first in the chain.
Okay.
So you can have like the effect that you have on left side. Let's say it's like a phaser or whatever, then and you're running into a delay, or you can do delay in a phase. Like it's which direction the signal is flowing, or you can have them both parallel with each other. Now,
this is a looper?
No. Well, I don't know. Might do some looping.
Okay.
We set out to create a multi-effect that would bring new energy to your music while still offering something a little different for every occasion. So here are the sounds.
Okay.
There are 144 possible effect combinations, create phasing choruses, stacked synthesizers, ratcheting reverbs, and heaps more. Glue. It is a bonus compressor / saturator at the end of your chain. Use it to give the sound a nice finished quality right out of the box or to blow things apart. Now, I just want to see what are the effects. Is there a full list?
I don't see one.
Okay, so in their website, there's not. But you have trails, you have tap tempo, you've got true bypass in your, depending on which mode you're in. You can do a CV control, expression controls. There is MIDI on this thing. You can save 4 internal presets or 122 via MIDI. Stereo in and out like all their pedals are. And then, of course, you have all the crazy dip switches in the back to customize everything.
I was going to say, those switches, that looks insane.
Yeah.
That really does.
Yeah. I've never personally dived into any Chase Bliss pedals because they're way more complicated than I can understand. But from what I've heard, I think this is their most exciting pedal I've ever heard. I think it's really cool. So $399, get on the list now. You'll get it in October, and you have only till the end of the month of August to place an order.
Okay.
So
I'm not saying anything bad about the pedal. I'm just saying I'm just kind of slow to understand all of this. Whatever it is, it does.
As part of their small batch series, they have also re-released their original small batch pedal from when they created this series, the reverse mode C.
Okay.
Now, these orders will also be available until August 31st, and they will start shipping in September.
Okay. That one is $399.
I think there's perhaps less of a demand for this one because it's a lot of people that wanted it the first time got it. But there were a lot of people that missed out, so this is their chance to get it. But it's not like this other pedal, the Lost and Found, that's brand new. Everybody wants it all at the same time. So it's also $399. Now, if I remember correctly, they based this off of... Yeah. So it was made in collaboration with Empress Effects, and it's a celebration of a very special mode on their Super Delay, which was released in 2008.
Okay.
So they were just obsessed with trying to capture a specific sound from another pedal and put it into this one called Reverse Mode C.
Okay.
So I don't want to go super in depth on that because it's a pedal that's already been around. It's just the second batch of them. So yeah, either of those pedals if you want them, they're $399. Get on the list now.
Okay.
Let's see. We already talked about the Old Blood Noise.
We talk about those, yeah.
Did we talk about Spurr audio yet?
I don't think so.
Let's let's do this next one first. Here, let's go to PRS.
Okay.
As much as I want to avoid ever talking about PRS, it seems like every single week they have new stuff.
Wait, why do you want to avoid talking about them?
I don't know. I'm not super into them. I just feel like in the past couple of months, every single week, there's like a new PRS that comes out.
I just hate their head stuff.
I know. They had that like they had the new like Telecaster thing that came out a couple weeks ago. They had the Herman Lee penis guitar. It just seems like every week there's something from them. That's not a bad thing. It's just, it's not everybody's cup of tea.
I don't think visually, I don't think they are ugly guitars. I just hate the headstock.
I know.
It looks so ugly. I don't know.
For me, the thing that I don't like, the thing I like the least is the bird inlays. I wish that they would just put out an option of just having dots on the neck.
Why does it bother you so much?
I don't know. It's too flashy for me. I think it's too flashy.
Oh, okay.
That's my only thing. Like I don't mind the look of the Silver Sky. It's a Strat shaped guitar with some cool contours that the regular Strat doesn't have. And from everything I've heard from people, they're really comfortable to play, and they might even be better than a Strat. But yeah, it looks weird with that headstock, with the 3 tuners on either side, and the birds. But the Silver Sky SE, they have some new colors for 2025.
Okay.
Now here's a quote from John Mayer. The new Silver Sky lineup features 4 new colors inspired by traditional American fashion. These are time-tested hues that have been popular through decades, and I'm excited to share them with the world as the latest SE colorways. So these colors are Laurel Green, Derby Red, Dandelion, and Trad Blue. Each of which are available in lefty formats as well.
Nice.
If I had to choose, I'd go with that Dandelion Yellow.
Oh, you're the one saying you don't like flashy. You want to go with a yellow guitar.
Oh, I don't think that yellow is flashy. I just think that's a really cool color for like a
what
real
are you talking about?
for like a regular Stratocaster. I think that'd be a really great color.
Oh yeah, and it looks like it come out of the Simpsons.
It's very similar to like the TV yellow that Gibson uses. And I think that's really cool.
I actually think that one is really flashy.
You think so? Well, I guess if the options are like a dark blue, a dark green, and a red, yeah.
It looks really flashy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the stone blue. Oh my
wait, hold on.
gosh.
So maple also has new colors?
Oh, that one is beautiful.
Or is this? Hold up.
Yeah, the sky maple also has some new colors.
Okay, so yeah, it also has some new colors joining it, but those weren't even announced in the main announcement. Okay. So, Maple Stone Blue, Moon White, which is a lighter yellow. That's a less flashy yellow. I like that one better.
Okay.
Summit Purple and Nylon Blue.
Actually, the Stone Blue on the Sky Maple.
Yeah.
I like that
I like
one.
that in the Moon White. I don't care for the purple or the blue. I feel like the birds look a lot less flashy on that neck because they're just like black outlines, it looks like.
Yeah.
I still don't like these. I don't know. Again, we've talked about if I were to get a PRS, like the particular models that I would be interested in. It's not one of these.
Okay.
Although somebody did offer to trade me one of these like a couple months back. I was like, I don't think so. And it wasn't even the SE; it was the SE CE version. I think. Is there a CE version? I don't know their models very well. Now I really don't know.
Okay.
Like, because I don't know the different levels of Silver Sky. Like, let's go to their signature model page. Yeah, I have no idea. There's the main core model, then there's SE, but then some models have a CE version. So maybe there is no CE version of the Silver Sky. I mean, I don't even see those options on their website. Do you?
You get back to the page where you were before. I saw the CE versions.
Oh, right here.
Right there.
Yeah, you go to family instead of series.
Yeah.
Nope, there's no CE Silver Sky.
No.
No, but the SECE 24, that's the one I would get if I were to get a PRS. And that's the cheapest model that they sell.
How much is that?
$499, unless the prices have gone up.
Okay.
We've talked about these like a few times here on the show. I don't even mind that gold. That gold looks cool. I like the satin ones though. The satin ones are, I don't know. You can kind of see the grain here, so that's pretty cool. So I didn't even see what those colors were. I don't think there are any additional price on top of like the regular model.
Now, can I? Do we have more guitars this week?
No, I think that's the only guitar I brought up.
Okay, talking about guitars, I want to open the discussion for something that happened to you this week.
Which thing? Which thing this time?
It was about guitars.
Oh.
You got into a fight online.
Okay, well.
Now, hold on.
Okay.
I want to open discussion because I want to know what people think about it. Because it doesn't really mean that they need to side with you or with the other person. But, like everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
Well, can I start with before that story?
Okay.
Another story?
Okay.
So.
Go for it.
I've got my Gibson Les Paul.
Okay.
And every time I plug it in, it feels good to play. The pickups sound good, but there's something about like when I'm playing chords or I'm going up the neck, and it's set up very well. The setup on this thing from the previous owner, it's good. So it's not like there's an issue with the setup. I mean, it's intonated properly. The action's pretty low. There's no buzz on any of the frets or anything. But like the lower strings, the E, A, and the D, they just sound very, like, I want to say dull, but I know that's probably not the best way to describe it. I've had this problem before with like Epiphones too in the past, like an SG that I had, and it's not snappy enough for me. And I don't know if that's just the way that all Les Pauls are supposed to sound, but I've played others in the past that don't sound like that. But it's just like, there's no life. It sounds like there's no life on the E, A, and the D strings, whereas like the higher three are very bright, and like I've tried different things. I've raised and lowered the pickups, see if maybe that helps. It's just the way it sounds.
Okay.
Some people have recommended I could wrap the strings around the top of the tailpiece, and that might brighten it up a little bit. But anyway, so I've always played Fenders and stuff, and I've got nothing against the Les Paul or Gibsons or anything, but I'm having a hard time just getting along with this thing, and it's just me.
Okay.
So I decided I was going to list it for sale.
That's where anything started.
Yeah. But this time I did post. I was like, I don't want, if you guys are going to offer any kind of trade, I'd rather have cash. I put that in the thing. I'd rather have cash. I don't want offers for Strats, for Telecasters, or acoustics. If you guys are going to make offers for trades, like, I don't want any of those things because I got enough. And there was something that actually came up, and I was really considering it. I asked people on threads. I asked a couple other people. I reached out to Joey Scar, who knows a lot about guitar tech stuff. And the consensus was like, don't do this trade. Which I felt like I still really wanted because I wanted this guitar. But it was a Fender Coronado. It was the reissue Coronado. So the one thing that was kind of a deal breaker, two things. This is an American-made Gibson, and I would have been trading it for a Chinese-made Fender because it was from the Modern Player series that came out about a decade ago. So it was a Coronado. And in the pictures, it looked like it was in perfect condition. It came with a case. And then I'm scrolling through the pictures again after talking back and forth with the guy. And I'm like, wait a second, is that just glare at the heel of the neck? Or what is that? So on the front of the guitar, there's something right where the neck ends. Almost as if like it was a guitar that had like the truss rod adjustment at the bottom of the neck. But this wasn't. It has like the bullet truss rod adjustment at the top. So I don't know if he swapped out the neck at one point with one that did have like the vintage style truss rod adjustment.
Okay. But
there's no reasonable reason why there should be damage right there on the finish. So I was like, is that just glare? And he's like, no, it's small damage. And I'm like, I'm gonna pass. So that happened. And then I actually see something like a day or two later that sticks out to me, and I'm like, ooh, like I want that. It was a Fender Jazzmaster, but this guy took apart two American Jazz Masters. One was like an American Professional, and one was an American Limited, I believe was the name of the series. It was like a model that had like a Bigsby instead of the traditional Jazzmaster tailpiece. So he took parts off of both guitars, and he says this in the description. Swapped them out, put one of the necks on one of the bodies that he was going to sell. But he says in the description, like, I kept the best parts for myself to build like the best possible guitar. So this is like a rebuild, and he called it a neck swap, you know, but I think he did a little bit more with the electronics and stuff, but whatever. He specified that he swapped the necks. And he listed the serial numbers for each guitar. He's like, do your own research, like in the description, like, do your own research, see what these guitars are. So I did. I looked up these guitars, looked up the serial numbers, I looked up what the used prices are on these things. And he had this thing listed for $1,100. My Les Paul, based on going rates and list prices here locally, regardless of what's going on the internet, but the ones here locally, $950 to $1,100. So I listed mine for $1,000. So I reached out to the guy. I was like, hey, ours are similarly priced, and you know, I understand there's a situation going on with yours or whatever. Like, would you be interested in a trade? And the guy just immediately like hits me back with like, this is a top of the line Fender. I wouldn't trade that for a lower tier Gibson. And my first reaction is like, but I understand you don't want to do the trade. That's fine. But like, you're talking about this being a top of the line Fender. This is a partscaster. And this is a mint condition, regardless of lower tier, this is a mint condition Gibson with a case. And you're not offering a case with yours or anything. This is with a case, has all the original paperwork to show that it's original and it's legit, it's real. What you have is two guitars pieced together. And it could still be a really good high-end guitar, but like resale value is not there for this. So the guy's arguing with me. Like, I stopped responding, but he starts arguing back at me about, you're a fucking clown for calling this any kind of caster, you idiot. You don't know anything about guitars. This isn't a caster. I'm like, dude, that's just the generic term for when you piece together different parts to build a new guitar. Like, so I don't know. Okay. The guy's trying to fight with me. I ended up, this is the first time I've ever like reported somebody for harassment, because the dude just kept going about it, like calling me stupid, calling me an idiot, saying I'm fucking dumb, calling me a clown. Like, I'm just like, whatever, dude. Like, all you had to say was you didn't want to trade it. And all I was trying to say is like, this is not a top of the line Fender. It was two separate ones, but like, you take that to a shop that needs to verify the serial number and everything. They can't really confirm that this is a real guitar. This could have been a Squire body, for all they know.
But here's what I'm saying, that I opened the floor for discussion.
Yeah.
So you have two expensive guitars.
Yes.
You put them together, right?
Yes. And keep in mind, he said in the description. He said in the description, he kept, in his opinion,
the best
parts for himself. So he was selling the parts that he viewed as being lesser quality, and still listing it as top of the line.
Okay, you're saying it's gonna lower the value.
Yeah, and I could be wrong there. I don't know. Let's tell us in the comments what you think.
What I'm saying is, what does the people think?
Yeah,
does it lower the value, or because you're mixing two together that are really good, is that increasing the value of the guitar?
I don't know. In my experience of like doing this for 15 years now, when you do modifications like that, unless it's an actual vintage instrument, and this mod was done decades ago, you know, like a 70s Fender, and they put like a 1970s jazz bass, but they put like a 60s jazz bass neck on it or something, that can still retain its value. But this is a modern guitar, and he even put like the neck plate that had the serial number on the body with the neck. So the serial number on the neck plate matches the neck, but the body does not match that. If like the shop were to look that up, they would see they never made that model with that exact body configuration. Now, it's hit or miss depending on where you live, what state, what the laws are. But like some places won't touch that. So I don't know. In my experience, when you make modifications like that, it does not retain the resale value as much as you might think it will as the seller. I mean, you want to get as much back as you possibly can because you probably spent between these two guitars, you probably spent like $3,000, $4,000.
I mean, as an example, you bought the guitar from Connor.
Yeah.
Which he had a neck that That's
a perfect example. That would have been used in good condition, would have been, it's a made in Mexico Strat, probably be about $450, $500. But he knew, because he replaced the neck with a neck that did not say Fender on the headstock.
Correct.
The used value on that, he listed appropriately, $200. Like, that's correct to me. But yeah, I don't know. This guy's trying to fight, and I was like, dude, in general, it always depends on the model and everything, but like in general, like Gibsons tend to retain their resale value more so than Fenders. Especially like if it's like a Mexican-made Fender, like, or even like the Indonesian ones that are out now. The Japanese models tend to retain their value. The American ones, like I said, depends on the model, really. But typically your Gibsons, like, because there's more craft that goes into making them than a Fender. Fenders are bolt-on necks and stuff. Like Gibsons, they take the time to do the set necks and everything. Those tend to retain their value a lot better. And this is a lower end, what he referred to in his argument, budget Gibson. But still, most budget Gibsons are unattainable to people that can buy a Fender. Like, you can go out and buy a Fender and still save like $700, $800 versus what you would have spent on a Gibson. So that's just in my experience, what I've seen.
In my opinion, like Peggy Hill.
So that's just what I've seen, and that's my argument on the stance. And my stance on the argument is like, I think the guy was accurate to have his thing listed for about $1,000. I think he had it 1,100, but like I think 1,000 is a fair price to list it because you're leaving a little bit of wiggle room for people to talk you down a little bit. I think that's an appropriate price. It's fair. He just didn't want the Gibson. That's all he had to say is, I just don't want that. But like to like attack me in his response, like, ooh, lower tier Gibson, ooh, I wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't touch that with a broken PRS neck. Like,
shut up.
So it's just like it offended me, and I don't know why it offended me. But I was like, you know what? To follow up,
to get a fight.
This is following up from our last episode. I think in the last episode I said I was so sick of people on Facebook Marketplace.
Yes, you said that.
So this is a perfect example. It's like, dude, I don't have patience for people like this anymore. And like these days, again, following back up from our last episode, it is a buyer's market and not a seller's market.
It's true.
We're hitting a recession right now. Like, it's just, it's the reality of the situation is you're not going to get back what you paid. And that's most of the time, unless it's a vintage instrument or a rare instrument that's in high demand, that's going to be the case.
Okay.
All right. Should we move on?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah,
moving on. But let us know in the comments your stance on that
I'm kind of curious about that.
Because I could be way off, but
and like I'm gonna fight in the comments.
No. I want to see what other people's experiences are because, like I said, I've been buying, selling, trading, modifying, doing all this stuff for like 15 years, and anytime I've modified a guitar, I'm sorry to go back into it, but
no, keep going. Let it go.
A common argument is like people think when they upgrade the pickups that the guitar should be sold for more money, and it's like no, because they didn't buy it because it has those pickups. Like they're buying it because they want that guitar. So that's a thing. That's a common misconception about like you think putting. Upgraded, like putting a Bigsby on it or something like makes it raise in value. It doesn't necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, what's next?
Spurr Audio.
Okay.
They have a really cool new pedal coming out.
That's a big screen on that pedal.
Yeah. I'm excited for this one. It looks like an old school computer.
Okay.
So this is the PMF 8824 multi-modulation.
Okay.
You have 4 knobs here in this main section. Well, the foot switch has 4 knobs above it. Control 1, Control 2, Control 3, and Program. Down here, you have a master volume and a mix control. And you have that really cool screen. So Spurr Audio announced the launch of the PMF 8824. This is on GuitarBomb.com. A compact multi-modulation pedal that combines vintage digital aesthetics with modern creative power inspired by the personal computers of the early 80s. So, it's a crazy 8-mode, it looks crazy. It's a modulation multi-effect. So let's see what it does. It's got a phaser, which is a smooth 4-stage phaser with musical feedback. Tremolo, which is rich amplitude modulation with waveform selector. Flanger, dense metallic swirl with resonant feedback. Vibrato, which is tape-style pitch wobble with internal ambience.
Okay.
Chorus, a wide 4-voice chorus with built-in reverb option. Rotary simulator, spinning speaker effect with mic and cabinet controls. There's a VCR mode, which is a VHS-style lo-fi, warped nostalgic tape textures with saturation. That's really cool. Micro choir, a unique digital choir inspired by classic organ voicing.
And how much is that going to be?
Looks like it's going to be available for pre-order for $219.
Okay, that's not bad.
I want this.
Pardon?
No, every time they put out a new pedal, they're always so cool.
What are you going to sell
look
to
at
buy
that screen.
that
Look
one?
at that screen. That looks like an old school computer screen.
Hello?
I don't know. The Gibson. $219 US. And I believe Spurr is based out of Mexico, I believe.
I swear to God, if I get as many tattoos as you get music equipment, I would be like up till the neck at this point. I would be like doing my eyelids.
The thing is, though, I sell music equipment too, so would you have to have them lasered off every time I sell a piece of equipment?
Okay. All right.
I'm asking. Is that the rules?
No.
No, I think this one's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see some videos on it and see how this turns out because, I like the old school VHS style, like lo-fi tape effects, the worn out effects, chorus, vibrato. Those are like my favorite. Flanger, I've never been a big fan of. Phaser, I like the sound of phaser on songs, but I've never been able to get a good sound out of one. But like at least half these sounds, I would love to mess around with.
Okay, start listing things yourself. Go for it.
So yeah, that one's $219. Get on that pre-order list now.
Okay.
Couple JHS related pieces of news here.
Well, you were talking to me about that, correct? Like they are going to release something new? Like something's coming up?
So they've been putting out hints lately on what it could be. And there's speculation on the internet about what it could be. So this is actually GuitarWorld.com did an article on the teasers that JHS have put out. And this went deeper than I had even considered. Because I follow them on social media, but I guess I wasn't connecting the dots the way that this article is. So it says JHS has been drip feeding some cryptic teasers ahead of a major release on Monday, August 11th. That'll be the day after this episode comes out.
Okay.
So they started putting out these 4 teasers, and every couple of days they would add more to it.
Okay.
So the full phrasing here is forward or back, I am still the same. 5 knobs to command 3 layers of gain. Born in Japan. Built for your play. I am a number, or am I a name? Now, I hadn't seen this last part, the am I a number, or am I a name? I hadn't seen that part yet.
Okay.
So pedal fans flock to the comment section, with many picking apart the riddle line by line. I've been seeing several different things that people are speculating. A lot of people joke that it's some kind of take on the Ibanez 808 because forward and back. But that doesn't make sense because they already make several Tube Screamer pedals at JHS. So it wouldn't make sense for them to be doing another one. Like, why would they expect anybody to be excited for another Tube Screamer?
They're saying 5 knobs to command.
And 5 knobs to command. The Tube Screamer has 3 knobs.
Okay.
So that doesn't necessarily matter. And so people are like, oh, it's got to be another, one of their like DIY, not a Dumble, not a Klon. People are, it's the not a metal zone, which that doesn't really fit in other than the Born in Japan thing. But yeah, so Born in Japan, it does kind of play into the whole Ibanez 808 Tube Screamer because that's where they're based out of. some people thought it was like a DOD style clone, but because forward and back, DOD.
Okay.
But DOD is based in South Korea, which originally was born in America, DOD. I believe Salt Lake City, Utah or something. So a lot of people are saying, like, it's got to be a tube screamer, but, like, why? Why would JHS put out another one?
Hold on.
Yeah.
So that last part, am I a number or am I a name?
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand why that would be a tube screamer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because the 808 thing, because that's the model name for the tube for one of the versions of the tube screamer.
I guess.
But again, so 2 posts prior to the riddle, they asked, they put a post of 9 multi-track recorders asking, like, which one would you choose? And I remember that one because one of them is the one I actually have. It's an old Tascam Porta Studio.
Okay.
I actually have one of those. So, I remember commenting on them and be like, oh, I picked that one because that's what I got. The second one that they posted says, what's your favorite home recorded album? And that one went right over my head. I was just like, that was weeks ago. So I didn't consider that to be related to these current posts.
So we're talking about pedal that someone used to record.
Not necessarily, because what this article is speculating, is that here's another teaser right here. The article says that they posted a clip that was captioned POV. You're an unreleased pedal being built, and in that video, it's like a builder looking down at the pedal, and there was the song that they used in that clip was Spoon's "They Never Got You," which the main guy from Spoon, he did a lot of home recording using vintage tape equipment.
Okay.
So this article, they are speculating that it's going to be a pedal version of the Tascam Porta Studio 424, which 424 is forward and back. Tascam is Japanese.
Okay.
This might be hitting the closest. But I don't know, because I've seen a lot of different people, different smaller builders doing this kind of effect for at least 2 years now, 3 years now. They're saying that the guitarist McGee, he's really inspired this whole revolution of people using the old tape recorders and stuff as a preamp, because that's what he uses. He uses like an old Tascam, runs his guitar through it, and then runs that into his recording equipment. Okay. But he uses it as a preamp, not necessarily as his final recording destination. So people are speculating it's that too, which is kind of funny because, like, his technique that he is famous for is something that, like, me and my brother Mike used to do out of necessity because we needed some sound. And that was the only way to get it back then. We recorded a lot of stuff to tape for fun. So this is just a bunch of people's speculation. So I don't know. It could be, they're saying here, it could be like color box style, like that big, color box style thing, like a Neve console, but this one's going to be a tape unit kind of thing. But, obviously like emulating that. Could be that. Some people are saying it could be the Ibanez Tube King, because it's the TK999, so 999 forward and back. Could be another Tube Screamer, because people love to buy Tube Screamer. So I don't know. I don't know what to think here. It could be anything. And it could still be the stupid Metal Zone thing that people are speculating on. And it could be right over everybody's head, and nobody actually knows what the hell they're talking about.
Okay.
So we won't know anything until Monday, August 11th. And then I'm sure the pedal will come out. It'll sell out right away. And then there'll be like an 8-month wait list.
Most likely.
But since we're on the subject, here's our last one for the day. Blammo Electronics is putting out their own clone of the Not a Dumble.
Okay.
Since that is no longer available through JHS, they did a limited run on that one. This is in a much smaller enclosure, and their pedal is going to have all the mods that people have been doing as the stock option.
Okay.
So I think this is cooler than the original.
Why?
You have the 2 channels, the overdrive channel and the clean channel.
Okay.
So you have volume, EQ, and drive for the overdrive channel. The clean channel, output, input, and color. So they added that color control that I don't believe the JHS version had. Independent foot switches for the clean channel, on and off, and the overdrive on and off. And then an order selection switch. So you can choose, are you running the clean into the dirty mode, or are you running the overdrive into the clean? I think this is a really cool idea.
$154.99. That's not bad.
And yeah, they're calling theirs the Tiny Dumble.
Okay.
And obviously it's made to look exactly like the JHS one, but in a smaller enclosure. Yeah, $154.99, but it looks like it will go up to at some point to $179.99. It's already out of stock.
I was about to say that.
And this has top-mounted jacks, relay-based switching for soft switches, SMD through-hole construction, or hybrid construction, green LED for your clean boost, red LED for your overdrive. It comes in a 125B size enclosure.
Okay.
I think this is really cool. And the description, if you want to buy a used Nada Dumble with the circuit separation and order switch modification in 2025, it's going to cost you almost triple of what the price of an original unit was. So what were they, like $99 or something? $199? I don't remember. 150? I really don't remember what they were selling for. So that might be a problem to some, but for most guitar players, it might not be a problem to some. But for most guitar players, it's the kind of price that make other options a necessity. If you know how to build and have a lot of free time, you could buy a PCB and make one for a good price. But if you can't confidently surf the solder wave, until recently, the secondhand market would have been your only choice. But now any pedal enthusiast with an internet connection and a few bones to spare can be blessed with a Tiny Dumble if they desire. As the name suggests, it is the smaller pedal board friendly version of a super popular Dumble style DIY pedal kit. I think it's really cool. I think it's cool that they saw a market for this and put it together, and I'd like to see comparisons of this one versus like the modified version of the original.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's really fairly priced too. I mean, if it's $154 for the pre-sale or whatever it was, but like even $180 for a 2-channel pedal. That's
not bad though.
Yeah. But I think that might be everything that I pulled up for today. So yeah, next week we'll know for sure what that JHS pedal is, and by the time we do our episode, it'll already be
sold out. More likely.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything else.
Okay, we don't have anything else then.
Yeah, so it's episode 50. We're not quite to the full year yet. I know we've taken a couple weeks off here and there.
We have.
But we did a couple times where we did 2 episodes in a week.
I remember that.
So I think somewhere around like mid to late September is when we're actually have done this for like a year.
Truly.
Yeah. I think our first episode came out in September.
Damn.
Yeah, if you want to catch us every Sunday here on the show, you can find us here on YouTube. You could find us on the audio versions if that's where you're at. I don't really have much else to say. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers and we'll do a giveaway. We've been saying that for a long time. Yeah. Okay. Watch out for that new video I've got coming out this upcoming week on the Summer School Electronic Science Fair. Again, it's a lot of what I do is not necessarily reviews or straightforward demos. It's, hey, I'm checking out this thing. Here's how I use it. So that's going to be kind of how it is. Because it's a pedal that's been out for a couple years now. So, there's nothing new I can bring to the table as far as like, here's a straightforward demo. Here's my favorite sounds. Maybe you like them too.
Yeah. And if you don't like them, then that's fine.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week. Oh, I don't think we told you guys. We'll leave this right for the very end. The reason we were out last week, if you don't follow us on Instagram, we had to watch the brand new season of King of the Hill.
Oh, that's true.
We stayed up all night. Well, first, Saturday, we took our son to see some monster trucks. And then we were exhausted. So we're like, we're going to record it Sunday. And then Sunday, we found out that the King of the Hill season was coming out early in our time zone. It was coming out at 9 p.m. in our time zone. So we're like, oh, we're staying up all night and watching
so we had
all
to
10
watch
episodes. So we did. So yeah, that's why we didn't have an episode last week. Anyway, we'll try to be more consistent with our weekly episodes, and we'll catch you then.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Bye.